if you have somebody who's going into construction, they want to be, a leader, they want to be an entrepreneur, they want to work on construction projects like that. What are some of the traits or leadership traits or just the traits that you've developed or either come naturally or you developed that you would say you really want to develop that? Like whether you have
Mhm.
it naturally or whether you develop it, like here's a couple of the things that I have developed that I feel are really essential to success if you're running projects and leading teams. Like anything that you feel like are core tenets that you've developed that have
Yeah.
important to your success?
Yeah. We when we're talking with potential new clients, one of the things we always say is we build relationships before we build buildings.
Yeah.
And so that is very key. Another thing that we share with them is the importance of our diplomacy. We're assertive but diplomatic.
Hmm.
And one of the other things I share, like when I'm in a project and working with a contractor, getting change orders to review, I always tell my clients that we want to be firm but fair. Like
Hmm.
there's always two sides to the story, and just making sure that we're properly representing the owner, but also not doing so in a way that ruins the trust within the
Hmm.
team
Yeah.
by not being fair. Um, uh, so always those three tenets, and just really being cognizant of the of as that building relationships before building buildings, really being respectful of everyone's what everyone brings to the table, and everyone's opinions, and sometimes there's hard decisions that have to be made that no one likes,
Hmm.
but again, hoping that the reputation and the track record of firm but fair makes it a little more palatable when those hard decisions have to be made.
Do you find that in that firm but fair and in that process that when people are allowed to weigh in or at least feel like their voice is heard, that they're more likely to buy in versus, I'd say firm but not fair would be just like, here's how it's going to be. Now go do it right now.
Yeah, yeah,
You know,
that's definitely not my MO.
no, no, I know that's not your style at all. So I'm just curious if you've noticed that as part of what's let part of your success is being able to how to gain buy-in from people. Like any insights into how you've been able to gain buy-in when you're working on those projects and getting everybody to row in the same direction.
Yeah,
Uh, any analogy you want to use on that? Row in the same direction, get on the right seats on the bus and drive the bus in the right way. Like run in the
so
same on
many.
the same trail together. Like whatever you want to call it. But we'll go with rowing the boat in the same.
Okay, okay,
Any
okay.
any examples of how you found that diplomacy to work and that could provide some insights for people?
Yeah, I think that people just start to understand that it's not me versus them, it's not us versus them, it's that we are a team. And again, the firm but fair comes into play. People, I feel like people draw on that. Uh, Maybe not 100%, but they definitely, again, when those hard decisions have to be made, it's not, hopefully, our team members don't feel like they're being um, targeted or being treated unfairly. And that's
Mhm.
why these decisions are being made. Like hopefully the track record of the fairness component of that um, is something that's remembered when there's a bitter pill to swallow. Because none of us win all the battles, and as a team, I think that that's important to uh, for the team members to recognize. Perhaps I should say that more often because it's true. Like, no, I mean, like, say that more often in my teams.
Yeah.
Like, um, none of us win all the time. And so just knowing that we're a team, we're doing what's best for the project and the owner. And sometimes it's a good thing, but sometimes we win and sometimes we lose.
Yeah. And one thing with that, because yeah, you're right. Some people win, sometimes you win, some you lose. But yeah, definitely one thing that I have found is just as long like people don't need to win. They just need to be heard. They just need to feel like
Fair enough.
they're right, that their voice was taken into account. And
Yep.
when that occurs, they usually, even if they don't agree with the final decision, but they feel like they have the voice, that they'll commit and buy in
Yeah.
and jump on board. But I've seen like the times where somebody just doesn't feel like they get invited to be a part of the process at all, and that's where they just kind of talk behind the back of the team, or the project, like that's not what I would have done, and like, oh, I'm only going to just kind of alligator arm it and just do what I need to do, but I'm not really going to get on board fully.
Yeah.
So that's
Yeah.
that's been an interesting, and working genius really helps of understanding that, because there's certain people that are quieter but they have great ideas and great thoughts, but
Yes.
if you don't invite them in, if you don't say, hey Bob, you've been quiet this whole meeting, like are you on board with this? Do you which any insights, any things to poke holes in this? Like, what are you seeing that we're missing? And
Yeah.
like, oh, you're inviting me because I'm waiting for you to invite me. I'm not just going to give you stuff because I think that you only want to hear what I say if you ask me. And that's such a change that it can be transformative for teams,
I
for
believe
those
it.
yeah, those quieter performers. So